This channel talks about movies in slow, clear English to help you practice your English listening comprehension. Imagine waking up completely alone with no memory of who you are and discovering you are the only person who can save your entire planet. That's exactly where our main character begins. Let's talk about Project Hail Mary. Let's start with the story. A science teacher named Ryland Grace wakes up on a spaceship far away from Earth. He doesn't know his own name. He doesn't know how he got there or why. Here's our grammar focus for this episode. Slowly, Ryland realizes he had been sent on a secret mission before he even woke up. Had been sent is the past perfect tense. We use it to talk about something that happened before another point in the past. In this case, before he woke up and lost his memory. Piece by piece, his memories start coming back. He remembers that a strange, invisible substance had begun killing the sun, slowly cooling it down. If nobody stops it, every living thing on Earth will eventually die. Ryland remembers that scientists had already tried everything they could think of back on Earth before choosing to send him into space. Had tried is another past perfect example. It happened before an even earlier point we're describing, back when the mission was first being planned. Ryland was chosen because of his own scientific knowledge, even though he never wanted this kind of responsibility. He soon discovers that everyone else who was originally sent with him on this mission had already died before he even woke up. That's a difficult discovery. His crewmates had died long before he opened his eyes. Using had died here shows that their deaths happened first, earlier than the moment he wakes up and the story truly begins. Alone, frightened, and slowly piecing his memory back together, Ryland has to find a way to solve this problem entirely by himself. But then, something changes everything. He isn't as alone out there as he first thought. Without spoiling exactly what happens, Ryland ends up forming an unexpected friendship that changes the entire direction of his mission and gives him a reason to keep going. Now, let's talk about how this story is told. Much of the film moves between two timelines. What's happening to Ryland right now in space, and flashbacks revealing what had happened back on Earth before he ever left. These flashbacks constantly remind us what had already occurred before the mission even began, which helps us slowly understand exactly how Ryland ended up here in the first place. The tone shifts back and forth too. Genuinely emotional, high-stakes moments sit right next to much lighter, funnier scenes, sometimes within the very same conversation. By the end of the film, Ryland must decide exactly how far he's willing to go to save a planet that, because of his memory loss, he can barely even remember clearly himself. Now, let's look at what critics and audiences have been saying about Project Hail Mary. The response has been remarkably positive. Critics have given it excellent reviews, and audiences have made it one of the best-loved films of the entire year so far. Many reviews highlight moments where we learn something surprising had happened earlier in the story, arguing that this structure keeps viewers guessing until the very end. The film is based on a best-selling novel written by the same author who wrote The Martian, and fans of the book have been closely discussing how faithfully the film brings that story to the screen. Not every reaction has been entirely uniform, though. Some critics feel the balance between heavy, emotional material and lighter, funnier moments doesn't always sit together as smoothly as it could, arguing the tone occasionally shifts a little too quickly. Even so, the overall consensus online is extremely positive, and box office numbers reflect that. This film opened as the biggest release of the year at the time, and has since crossed hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide. A genuine achievement for a film that isn't part of an existing franchise. Let's go through the past perfect examples from this video. Had been sent. Describing something that happened before another past moment. He had been sent on a mission before he woke up. Had tried. Used for an earlier attempt that came before a later past event. Scientists had already tried everything before sending him. Had died, had happened. For events that occurred earlier than the main moment of a story. His crewmates had died before he even woke up. Try describing a memory of your own using the past perfect to show what had already happened before a more recent moment. So what's the final verdict on Project Hail Mary? Critics and audiences broadly agree this is one of the best original films of the year. Genuinely emotional, inventive, and satisfying, even for viewers who don't usually enjoy science fiction. If you prefer a consistently serious tone throughout, the occasional shift into lighter comedy might feel a little unexpected. But for most viewers, that mix has clearly been a big part of the film's success. Did you enjoy Project Hail Mary? Let me know in the comments on the video, or get in touch. If you learned something new today, subscribe on YouTube for more movies reviewed in slow, clear English.